It's Kane Hodder from Friday the 13th. You are listening to Rock Video Rental.
Hey everyone, welcome to Rock Video Rental. I am Brandon, and with me again is Caleb, and we are continuing on with Rocktober, and we're doing another slasher movie. We are covering Cheerleader Camp from 1988. It is directed by John Quinn, and the plot is a group of cheerleaders become the targets of an unknown killer at a remote summer camp. Of the cast, we get Betsy Russell as Allison, Leif Garrett as Brent, Lucinda Dickey as Corey, Travis McKenna as Timmy, and Terry Weigel as Pam. I've seen this movie. I think this is my third time watching it.
I'm sorry, did you say Pam or Pan?
The end is silent.
Okay, gotcha.
You just sound stupid. Oh man, it seems like there's a Pam in almost every single slasher movie.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. No.
It's funny. I was thinking watching this movie, and like, the name Brent is one you don't hear very much anymore.
Yeah, no.
Like, you
Well,
don't hear any kids named Brent, which is funny because that's my brother's name. But
oh, that is funny. I didn't think about
yeah,
that. It took me a while because I thought they were saying Brett.
yeah, that's what I thought too at first. But no, it's Brent.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh, I also looking at this cast is kind of funny. Like Betsy Russell, she was in quite a few things in the '80s. Um, Mostly known for some horror movies towards the end of the '80s. Then we got Leif Garrett, which was a weird choice for this movie because did you know the dude was 27 years old when this movie was made, but he looks like he's about 37? He's got that receding hairline. It's like who cast who cast Fraser Crane in this movie? uh, Former um teen heartthrob in the late 70s, early 80s, Leif Garrett. And then Lucinda Dickey, she was in Breakin', the breakdancing movie, which she shows
Oh,
off some skills in this movie too.
yeah, she was a great mascot.
Yeah. And then one of the girls, her last name is Ferretti. I can't remember what her first name is, but she was a Playboy playmate. And then Terry Weigel was a legit porn star. And that's why she's naked a couple times in this movie.
Shocker.
This
Well,
movie is one of those that always stood out to me in movie rental places because the VHS cover art is pretty awesome.
I feel like the cover art for this movie is similar to a lot of books in the 90s
Yes,
where
like
like
Goosebumps.
yeah, it was very reminiscent of that where I was just like, man, I swear I've seen this before just because they all looked so similar.
Hmm.
But speaking of looking similar, Betsy Russell as Allison, so the main
Yeah,
girl, totally was giving me Nancy vibes from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
yeah, pretty similar. They both had the big mall hair.
Yeah,
There's
the
lots of mall hair in this movie.
kind of their
Uh,
characters were seemed a little similar in my opinion, where it was like not super strong female leads like the some of them do. Oh, you get
yeah.
it more. You got it more in the '90s and then after the 2000s, where it was like a strong female lead, but more of that kind of like, oh, someone help rescue me kind of a thing.
Hmm.
So, but
Yeah, and not really the strongest actress.
no, who do you think
She
did the
would get
best?
she would get better as her career went on. I mean, she was in a handful of the Saw movies, and just some odds and ends of other horror movies. And I have to say too that like she's aged really well. Like she still looks like $1,000,000.
Who would you say did the best acting in this movie? Like
Oh,
this is a movie where the acting is definitely not top notch for anybody.
yeah. I will say the girl who played Teresa, that was the girl who was a Playboy playmate, I thought showed the best range of emotion, at least. Where like Betsy Russell was just kind of stoic the whole movie. And like the scene where Teresa stumbles across Pam's body, she at least screams and it almost looked like she was crying.
All right.
Like I thought she did a pretty decent job in that. I'm like, is this woman the best actress out of all the women in this? And she's just a Playboy model?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
think Leif Garrett was all that bad.
Well, he was like really, I would say, kind of inconsistent though. I
Yeah.
think was his issue. Like there'd be certain parts where he did pretty well, but yeah, he just did so rough. I feel like at the beginning
Yeah.
he had such a hard time. So
Well, and yeah, I talked about Betsy Russell's age, but Leif Garrett is aged like the exact opposite. The dude looks pretty rough now. But I couldn't believe that he was like 26, 27 years old when he made this movie. Because he, like I said, he legit looks like he's 37.
hmm.
And then the guy who plays Timmy was the fat bouncer from Roadhouse.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and like he looked like he was about 30 something.
Well, he was trying to do his best Sheldon performance.
Oh,
Shelley.
Shelley.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I would agree
Um
with that.
c-
Except kind of a horn dog too.
yeah, little pervert kind of a. So they worked on doing some a little bit development. Not a lot. But they did make their attempts. So
Yeah. Um, they tried to give like each character like a little bit of personality. I it didn't really understand the Brent character. So he was supposed to be dating uh Allison. They were supposed to be like a couple, but they had absolutely no chemistry together,
hmm.
like at all.
Yeah.
Like if they wouldn't have came out and said multiple times that like he was her boyfriend, you wouldn't even have saw it. You wouldn't even have known.
Oh yeah,
And then
no.
he's like constantly just trying to get it with all the other girls.
Hmm.
And then there's a part where he's like rubbing Pam's shoulders, and then Allison gets mad and storms off, and then he acts like she's being a bitch to him.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're rubbing this other girl's shoulders like right in front of your girlfriend.
Well, that was after his, and like this was probably his stupid justification because they were making him seem like a jock douchebag. Was that like Allison's character was not wanting to do anything physical? Like
Yeah.
she's just like, no, not now, and he's just like, oh, you never want to, and oh, yeah, he played a dumb douche pretty well. So,
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'll agree with that. So the way the movie starts out, she has like that weird dream, and it's obvious it's a dream right from the get-go.
hmm.
She goes out and she's like trying to cheer, and like there's this cackling laugh, and I was just like, this is supposed to be a high school cheerleader. There's no way any school would ever allow a cheerleader to wear an outfit that skimpy.
Hmm.
Like, I thought I was gonna end up seeing underboob for a second.
And then she goes on and is just like, somebody love me.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that was horrible. And then they arrive at camp, and then the fat guy sticks his butt out the window, and they lingered on that for too long. I'm like, I don't want to see this guy's big dimply butt. And one of the funnier characters is the woman counselor. She reminded me of Kristen Wiig.
Okay.
Like she's kind of goofy, but she's kind of attractive at the same time. But I was
Hmm.
like, she kind of looks like Kristen Wiig if she got hit in the face. Like she wasn't as good looking as Kristen Wiig, but just like that awkward, kind of weird character that she would play.
Hmm.
Like if they were to remake this movie, like they could cast her as that woman.
Yeah, I can see
Um,
that.
yeah. And then it's like, oh, we're introduced to all these red herrings, where it's like the groundskeeper guy, Pop or whatever's Mr. Pop,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the um the cook who doesn't talk. And
Yeah,
it's
who
like, okay,
wears
you know
dead
those
people's
guys.
jewelry.
Yeah, who's it's like, okay, you know these guys are here, so you don't know who it's gonna be. But I mean, this movie isn't one that really makes you guess all that much. It's kind of obvious. Lucinda Dickey ends up being the killer, spoiler alert. Um, did
Yeah,
not see it come.
when they were roommates, I started guessing right away.
Oh yeah, and like how almost possessive she was of Allison.
Hmm.
Yeah, because apparently she's like a lesbian or something. I don't know. She's like in love with her.
Well, that was the thing that was weird to me about this is that it seemed like so much of the premise of the movie was Corey's character being protective of Allison,
Yeah.
but then she, in the end, betrayed Allison
Yeah.
and made her take the fall for it. Where like she easily, if she wanted, because that's really what I thought was leading up to, where she was going to be like finding a way to get rid of Brent and then make it look like Brent was the bad guy, and then Corey and Allison would be best friends, and then something would happen, and Corey would freak out because she'd be like, "I did so much for you," blah blah blah. But then instead of that, she betrayed Allison and made her go to a psych ward because she pinned the whole thing on Allison.
You're right. Uh,
But
yeah,
then,
it made me think of this scene from The Simpsons where like they're talking about reincarnation and Bart's like, if I was to come back, I'd come back as a butterfly. They're like, why is that? Because no one ever suspects the butterfly. And then like the cops are hauling Principal Skinner off. He's like, it wasn't me that burnt the school, it was the butterfly. That's what it made me think of at the end, where it's like, oh, this girl's whacked out of her gourd. And it's like, she's like, no, it wasn't me, kind of thing.
yeah, well, the thing that I didn't, I mean, I kind of get it, but I was a little annoyed by was when they are still driving away, the detectives, the ambulance, and everything. Like, first of all, they got out of there like ridiculously fast for how many dead bodies and all that.
Yes.
They leave Corey there,
Hmm.
and she's dancing and cheering as they're driving away, and it's just like nobody finds that unusual. Like
Yeah,
she
and she
just
was the
witnessed,
mascot, and all of a sudden she's a cheerleader.
yeah, well, not even just that, but just like
All these
she,
people die.
yeah, she just witnessed all of her friends die at the hand of somebody who she thought was her friend. She's not scarred by this. Like she's fine and happy and cheering. Like what? It's, yeah, that just didn't. I understand that they were going for that creepy factor, but I feel like they should have created some separation because they had her cheering while the ambulance was driving past her. And it's just like no one in their right mind would see that and be like, oh, yeah, that's perfectly normal.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the girl who's they're taking off is like calling that girl's name. That doesn't raise an eyebrow or anything either.
Hmm.
Oh man.
I will say, though, talking about that being the last scene and everything, so much bad acting in that final scene.
Dude, so much bad acting in this entire movie though.
Oh, yes. But like, I think the most bad acting on top of bad acting at one point in this movie was that final scene
Yeah, I would agree with that.
between the detective, the other police, the ambulance, the medics, like, and Allison trying to have a meltdown in the ambulance, like all of them. Like that detective was just awful.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the line that he said, but he's just like, "Oh yeah, sure. That's what you want us to believe. Okay."
Oh my God.
That would have been better.
Yeah. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. Oh man. So I guess a couple of the scenes that are memorable from this. So probably the most memorable thing about this movie, other than the poster, is the rap scene
Oh no.
where Leif Garrett and the fat guy from Roadhouse rap.
Yeah.
And it's pretty horrible. And of course, it ends with a, uh, and their arms crossed with sunglasses on. It's
Straight
like the
up Vanilla
whitest,
Ice.
it's like the whitest rap you can possibly think of.
It was so bad.
Very bad. And then towards the end, uh, they have that band playing in another movie where it's like, what is this band? The singer is wearing like a leather jacket with a bunch of studs all over it. The guitarist has like his hair all spiked up. So you'd think they're like a punk band, but they're out there and the guitarist is busting off squealies and stuff like he's freaking Zach Wild from Ozzy, like playing metal songs. Like, I don't, like, what is this? What is this band? They're just like, let's give you spiky hair and a leather jacket with studs on it, because that's what a rock band looks like. But anyway, so Leif Garrett comes up and like grabs a microphone from the singer, and he's like, "One of our girls has been murdered. Let's get out of here alive. Don't panic." I'm like, "Don't panic. You said somebody's been murdered. Let's get out of here." That cracked me up. And it was about this time too where I realized, like, was this movie supposed to be like more comedic? And I looked it up on IMDb and it's listed as a horror comedy.
Oh no.
So it makes sense, I guess.
I mean, they tried. I don't, but that was a big fail.
Yeah. I don't know if it was an inadvertent comedy like The Room or, if it was trying to lean into it and just failed on kind of both planes here.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
talking about fail, one of the funniest parts that made me laugh was when Timmy died.
yes.
So he set
They're
up his
watching the tape on his camera.
yeah, he set up the camera and he was like making I don't know, he wasn't making fun of the situation, but he was making light of the situation.
Yeah.
And then of course it shows somebody, I don't know, it was like a scythe or something, some blade thing
Was it
comes
Axe?
axe.
Yeah.
Comes in off screen, cuts him in the stomach, and then he falls to his knees and the camera moves with him.
And it zooms in a few times.
Yeah, I'm like,
Close up of his face.
who,
Back out so you can see the disemboweling. Close up of his face. And then
who
boom, he falls out of frame.
who's filming this? He set the camera down. So the killer like stabbed him with the axe and then quickly ran over the camera and was like, "Okay, zoom in, zoom out. Yeah, let's do this."
I don't
Like,
know. I didn't frame that very well. Can we try that again?
like no one thought about that.
Right?
That was one of the worst mess ups in this movie.
Yeah, I agree. I guess I can get into the kills now. I mean, that's what usually people watch horror or slashers for. So it starts off with Susie, who's the blonde girl, like, of course, gets topless in one scene. And then Terry Weigel has to try to top her by taking her top off and then quickly putting it back on. I'm not sure what that was about, but her wrist gets slit, so it looks like she killed herself. And then Pam, who is Terry Weigel's character, gets stabbed with scissors. That was probably the best one.
Mm,
Then Teresa gets hit by a van. Uh, Dee Dee gets impaled with a meat cleaver.
yep.
Timmy gets his belly ripped open with an axe. The sheriff gets a bear trap to the head,
That was
which that one is
intense.
pretty good too. Leif Garrett like sets up this booby trap by the door and tries to like lead who he thinks the killer is in. And it's the sheriff that comes in and gets the bear trap on the head, so it's like an inadvertent kill.
Hmm.
Then Mr. Pop gets shot with a revolver. It's just been revoked. And then Bonnie gets choked with a phone cord. And then Brent gets shot at the end with a revolver as well. It's also been revoked. And
Well,
Lucinda Dickey as Corey is an incredible shot.
not Corey. It was it was Allison's character,
Yeah, she shot
Brent.
Brent. Yeah, Lucinda Dickey shot Mr. Pop
Yeah, but she
multiple
wasn't that
times.
far. She wasn't too far away. Uh,
It was Betsy Russell's character that shot like 40 yards away
yeah, it was
with a revolver.
insane. I actually was going to bring that up, so I'm glad you did. That was one of the like for anyone who has not shot a gun. Like I'm saying this as an example to give people context, but also talking about Allison's character. Like I think it's fairly certain that she has not shot a gun. Like she did
Yeah,
not. There was nothing about her handling the gun and everything that made you think she knew what she was doing. Or second of all, being capable of doing what she was doing. And then she turns around the corner of a building, sees Brent, and within a second or less pulls up and shoots as far as she did and kills him with a single shot.
yeah, to the heart.
Like that is even experienced people to hit somebody and like get a kill shot on them from that distance is not easy. So I mean,
Yeah,
sure, okay, sum it up to maybe dumb luck, but yeah, that was like, man, they could have even just set it up where it's just like, okay, hey, put a prop phone, make it closer to the corner of the building so that she only has to shoot 10 feet instead
yeah.
of 40 yards.
And it's not like she just had like a small revolver. It's not like she had a um
Shotgun or,
yeah, or like the revolver from Death Wish 3
oh, like
that
a
could,
desert eagle.
yeah, well, you had that wieldy magnum that could just like blow a gigantic hole through someone.
Oh man, that if she had that, she'd smash herself in the face.
Boom. Would have to play that sound too. Uh, yeah, bashed yourself in the face. Uh, so yeah, decent amount of kills in this movie for one that's a little more comedic. And I feel like Susie gets killed super early,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like we wait 40 minutes, and then Pam gets killed, and then it's just like rapid fire after that.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of downtime,
Yeah,
so
it was spaced out rather poorly for that.
the killing sequences were kind of weird because like they were totally setting you up on being like, oh, well, is Allison possibly the killer because she's on pills and she like blacks out and things like that.
Yeah, and
And
she
they would,
keeps having these weird visions and stuff.
yeah, and they would do those red transitions,
Mm.
but then they only did it like how many total kills were there? Like seven, six,
Something like that.
and
No, there's more than that.
they only did the red transition like two, maybe three times. So it's just like, okay, guys, what are you doing? Are we doing this or not? Like, commit to it or just don't do it.
Yeah, there was 9 kills.
Oh, dang, nine. So yeah,
Yeah, and
so
I like when they come get Susie's body too, and it looks like they just threw a shower curtain over her.
yeah.
Like that wasn't a body bag; it was just a piece of plastic.
Oh yeah, well that it really weirded me out where it's just like why are they moving the body without the police?
Yeah,
Like maybe they were trying to do that from the aspect of making you really think that it was somebody from the camp that was doing it, but also the same aspect like the camp counselor lady, the Tipton lady didn't want to call the sheriff and it's just like you're buddy with the sheriff. What do you care? Like I
yeah, she
mean,
was doing the sheriff.
yeah, I don't understand it that it didn't make sense. She was talking about like, oh, they'll shut down the camp and everything. It's just like, so what? You're gonna delay it a week? Like, what are you gonna do with the body? Like, it's gonna come out. Like, it's not like you're gonna be able to cover it up, and her friends are gonna go home and be like, oh yeah, we don't know what happened to her. She just never came back from camp.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, you remember her? Yeah, she died. Oh gosh. So two more awkward scenes in this movie. We get the aforementioned counselor and the sheriff and their sex scene where they're like role playing and she's like a cheerleader and he's a football player. That was really awkward. And then like the fat guy from Roadhouse is recording it.
Well, I will give them this. They committed. They committed to
Oh yeah, for sure.
that. So good for them.
Yeah, extremely awkward. And then the other awkward scene was also another sex scene with Leif Garrett and uh it was Allison, wasn't it? But somehow she was watching herself, and there's like,
No, it wasn't Allison. I'm pretty sure that it was Brent and Pam.
oh, okay. And they're like, there's a group of people around like cheering on harder, faster, harder, faster.
Yeah.
That was really awkward too. I forgot about that scene. But anything else to add? You want me to get into trivia?
One thing that I'll say, I might talk about more when I kind of like do my review and my own grade and everything. I think one of the worst parts was towards the end after Brent was like telling everybody what happened and was just like, "Hey, let's get out of here," and don't panic kind of a thing. So it
Mm,
was just the core group of kids. Okay.
yeah.
The acting was so bad. It was so unbelievably bad. Like it 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 almost made me think of a high school play where it's just like nobody was intense, nobody was like committing to it. It was just very like lackadaisical, laissez-faire, like like everybody was in the acting in the middle. Nobody was giving any highs, any lows. It it
It's all
it
monotone.
Yeah, it totally threw off the ending. And I was thinking to myself, I don't understand how they use this take. Like, did they only do one take? Like, there's almost no way that they could have done multiple takes, and that was the best one. So that's one of my biggest gripes with this movie, where it's just like you are getting to the end of the movie. This is the climax of the movie. This is supposed to be the most important part, and you cannot get your cast of actors to commit better. Like, or I don't know. I'm not sure where the breakdown was, if it was a directing thing or if it was just on the actors, but that was one of the worst executions of the finale of the movie that I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah. I think the only girl that showed like genuine terror was the girl who played Teresa when she
Yeah.
discovered Pam's body. That's a At that moment is when I wrote down, I was like, is this woman the best actor of the bunch? And she ended up just being a Playboy model.
Yeah. Well, the end and a climax of the movie, she was already dead. So her acting was already done. So it was kind of
Yeah.
like you get the high point of acting near or just after around after the middle of the movie and everything, and then it flatlines after that, basically.
Hmm. Oh man. All right, so trivia and facts. So the movie's original title was Bloody Pom Poms.
Huh.
The title is still used in various countries such as Germany.
Interesting.
So Leif Garrett actually played one of the mascots during the scenes in which they were all in costume.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. The scene where Miss Tipton and the sheriff are getting ready for sex, there is a copy of Leif Garrett's 1978 album Feel the Need leaning up against the top of the record player. So the film's first scene was the last one to be shot, and it was done at Bakersfield High School. Many of the extras were cheerleaders from Bakersfield High School.
Hmm.
This movie was filmed in 24 days in October of 87. And the last thing, I could not find the budget or the box office for this movie.
Oh no.
Yeah, so there's no numbers at all for that.
That's a little surprising.
And there wasn't very much for the trivia and facts. But the grades, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, I will say that there is not a critic score.
Okay. IMDb 4.5.
4.7.
Oh, kind of close there. Um, so only Rotten Tomato audience,
Mhm.
55%.
22.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, a little surprising. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go ahead and go first.
All right. Like I said, I've seen this movie a couple times. I think this is a case of the poster slash VHS cover is better than the movie. It does kind of have like that awesomely bad feel to it at times. You know, with the dumb rap, like how serious were they when they did that? Um, some of the kills are halfway decent. You know, the bear trap and the scissors, I thought were done pretty well. Even like the disemboweling of Timmy, even though the whole scene was handled poorly, the special effect did not look that bad. And I thought he was pretty decent. He was a likable guy. I mean, kind of the way he was in Roadhouse as well. But I ended up falling on a 2.5 out of 5 because it is entertaining, but it's not a good movie. The fact that it's supposed to be a horror comedy, and I feel like it fails kind of on both levels, but it's an enjoyable movie.
Rock. I was right there with you in that range. I was somewhere between a 2 and a 3. I feel like I'm going to land at a 2.5 as well. I mean, just coming off the mutilator, I give it a 2.5 as well. There are certain elements of this that I feel like are an improvement since the last movie. Just kind of organized a little bit better, edited a little bit better, kind of some things make a little bit more sense. The kills maybe weren't as great and everything, but just like what I just mentioned a little bit ago, the huge letdown of the finale, the climax of the movie, just, I mean, you gotta, you can get people to forget a lot of bad things about your movie if you end it properly.
Yeah.
And it was just, and the reverse happened for them. Like they just botched the end on so many different levels where you're just like, man, that was a letdown. And
Yeah.
so it's a rewatchable movie. You can watch it again. It's not like so bad where like I don't want to watch it again. Once you get to that point, you're like in the 1.5 kind of range.
Hmm.
So 2.5, I feel is justified because it's like average getting to below average because yeah, that for me that ending was just uh too much for me to give it any more credit than it did. So
Yeah, I would agree with that.
rock.
So that wraps up Cheerleader Camp. If you guys are liking the show, please subscribe and share. You can follow us on social media. We're on every platform. We have YouTube and TikTok as well. If you guys really like horror movies, go back. We've got 5 other years of horror marathons and a couple other horror months kind of sprinkled in there. So quite a bit of content there for you. Come by next time. We're going to be continuing on with Rocktober and we're going to be covering Slaughter High. But until then, as always, be kind and rewind.